Hallelujah.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah, Lord.
Hallelujah.
Thank you, Jesus.
Hallelujah. Thank you,
Hallelujah.
Jesus. Father God, in the name of Jesus.
Yes, Lord.
I come to you just saying.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you for all
Thank
you're
you,
doing in
Lord.
our lives.
Yes.
God. And we are thanking you for the growth.
Yes, Jesus.
And as we continue to bless us, Lord, you just put a special blessing on the people that we come in contact with.
Yes.
And we give your name the glory and the praises. Oh, let your word go forth, God. Let us be hearers, but let us also be doers. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 You may be seated. Our subject today is brotherly love. And my subtopic is the language of Cain. Am I my brother's keeper?
Amen.
And the text is lifted from Luke chapter 10, verses 25 through 37. Now in Genesis chapter 4, we have an account of the first recorded trial. Long before there was a courtroom or a human jury, God himself sits as judge. For he is the God who vengeance belongs. He says, vengeance is mine, said the Lord.
Amen.
And who would be sure to make inquisition for blood, and especially in us, the saints of God. The Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? Some think that Cain's arraignment occurred the following Sabbath after the murder was committed, when the sons of God came, as usual, to present themselves before the Lord, and Abel was missing. We should always take notice of the faithful people that should be in church and don't come. Hallelujah. The God of heaven takes notice of who is present at and who is absent from public worship. Cain is asked because he has a motive. He was the last to see his brother alive, and because God knew he was guilty. Cain pleaded not guilty, and he adds rebellion to his sin of murder. He endeavors to cover a deliberate murder with a deliberate lie. How foolish is it to think that we can hide anything from an all-seeing God?
That's right. That's right.
Cain tries to answer a question with a question, and he replies, am I my brother's keeper? Surely he's old enough to take care of himself. Now, did I ever take charge of his life? Some think that Cain reflects on God and his providence. And he said, aren't you not his keeper? If he be missing, the blame is on you and not on me. You're the all-knowing God, all-seeing God, and you ask me, where is thy brother? All of us are charged to have loving concern for our brethren. To serve as their keeper is a great duty, which is strictly required of us, but it's generally neglected by us. We have that charge, but we don't do it. Those who are unconcerned in the affairs of their brethren and take no charge when they have the opportunity to prevent hurt in their bodies, prevent their good name, especially in their souls, do in effect speak Cain's language. Am I my brother's keeper? All right. The language of Cain is an attempt to justify oneself. In Luke chapter 10, 25 to 37, Jesus gives a profile on friendship, but the language of Cain is present. A lawyer responds to Jesus' teaching by saying in Luke chapter 10 and 29, but he, willing to justify himself, said unto Jesus, and who is my neighbor? There are several facts I want to mention. The road between Jericho and Jerusalem had a bad reputation. It was so dangerous that even it was called the bloody way. And there are some roads in our lives that we shouldn't take, you saints. Oh, hallelujah. On the road of life, you will find brothers in all kinds of conditions. Some half wounded, some half naked, hallelujah, and some half dead. But don't give up on the brother because he's half dead. Because, hallelujah,
Amen.
that means that he is still half alive.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Now, real friends will act without considering the sacrifice. It's not about what can you do for me. They will go the extra mile. They will make the extra effort. Why do people ignore half-dead people? Some people in our society are considered disposable. We don't need it. To be used and then regarded. Some people in our society are considered to be beyond help, while others in our society are considered to be beyond our area of responsibility. They don't belong to me, so why am I going to go out of my way and help? Somebody ought to do something about it, but not me. Listen to this parable. Now it came to pass that a certain man was traveling Lonesome Street, a lonely and dark road from Tom's Tavern to Bill's Bar. After many visits to this bar, the consumption of liquor got a hold on him. It stripped him of all his goods and left him destitute and dying on Skid Row. There came that way, a certain respected religious leader, a bishop in the church. He saw the drunk with a bleeding skull and vomit covering his clothes. Deciding that he was too drunk to talk about his soul, he thought that society should do something about the drunkenness in the world. Hallelujah. So he passed right by as fast as he could. Soon a social worker who had all this special training and that know how to care for people and all society ills, hallelujah. He saw the man laying on the sidewalk, all stretched out. He looked at him, and he concluded that the man was beyond help or hope. All right. He straightway continued on his way. Now, after some times of him laying on the road, hallelujah, an outcast of society, a young black man, pants pulled down on his hips, and a hoodie on his head, came down Lonesome Street. Though despised by respectable people and watched with suspicion by the police, the young man saw the dying drunk. He came where he was and called a fellow friend of his that was just like him to help him. He spoke soothing words. He lifted the man in his arms and he took him to a place where he knew the man would receive help.
Amen.
Now, who was the neighbor? Who was showing brotherly love?
Amen.
Yeah.
Jesus' parable is a representation of three kinds of people in the world. There are three kinds of people in this room right now. Hallelujah.
All right.
There's that need a friend. Hallelujah. There are those that could be a friend. And there are those that will be a friend.
Hallelujah.
There are those who need a friend because they have been injured. Luke 10:30 says, and Jesus answering said, a certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell among thieves, which stripped him of all his raiment and wounded him, and departed, leaving him half dead. He is called a certain one. Anybody could be in their condition. Hallelujah. That's been injured by other people in the system. Hallelujah. By other circumstances and by Satan. No one starts out to be a failure. Life just happens.
Amen.
There are those that could be a friend. In Luke chapter 10 and 31 tells us, and by chance, there came down a certain priest that way, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side, and likewise a Levite. When he was at the place, came and looked on him, and passed by on the other side. Hallelujah. By chance, the answer comes across the problem.